Hi, I'm Margarita Grillo, and I'm here today with Dedi Mansour and Asad Hassan. They're here today from the Foundation for Peace and Education through Martial Arts. Today we'll be looking at some martial arts techniques that you can use if you find yourself in a violent situation. Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
In what ways can martial arts help contribute to the decline of domestic violence?
Well, I think martial arts is uniquely suited actually to deal with this problem. There's that you learn in education as far as martial arts goes, where you can learn to deal with this type of situation that is in fact physically violent, be it at close quarters as it is in a domestic situation or not. I think there's three factors that really lend themselves to dealing with domestic violence. The first being that of awareness, which is called in Japanese suki no kokoro, mind like the moon. To be aware of your surrounding, to know who's around you and so on, that's a point that's been hit upon by a lot of people, such as when they talk about being aware of where you park your car in a shopping mall or not going down dark alleys. But that also extends to a second point, which is a foundation. What about your own awareness? Are you aware of your physical limitation? Things look easy when you see them on film, but if you actually try to do them, sometimes they require a little bit of training, or even dealing with fear itself, which is usually, it seems to me in the literature, the biggest problem that people have combating domestic violence when you're dealing with somebody that you know and you care about, and them trying to harm you. How do you deal with that fear of intimidation? And of course the third point is the actual techniques themselves that martial arts teaches you to deal with that situation in a way where you can protect yourself.
Well, I'm sure these are all very important, and I'm ready, so let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, great. Perhaps the first situation one might find themselves in is if an argument breaks out into violence where someone swings at another to slap or strike just out of anger. Best thing to do in that situation is to step back as you have and bring up your arms in a block like that. Maintain eye contact. Again, this is simply to prevent yourself from being hit and also setting the message that you're going to defend yourself. You're not going to allow someone to force themselves upon you. Sometimes it can go beyond that where they don't allow you to leave the situation, which is in fact the best way to defend yourself, is simply get out of that situation, is if they grasp your wrist and not let you leave. Something that in that situation, again, step back to maintain your balance, in this case also off-balancing the other person, and moving your arm in the direction where the thumb and the fingers meet, which is in fact the weakest part. So if you can step back and whip your body in that arm in that direction, there you go, you can break that hold and get out of that situation. Okay? Sometimes it goes beyond that where someone actually does try to physically harm you. Let's say they try to choke you. And this is often a case in an emotionally charged situation. Again, with training you realize that you're calm and collected. You have your arsenal with you. Your hands and feet are free. You can grab that person's arms to use for balance and in fact drive your knee into their groin and thereby disable them. There you go. And get out of that situation. Sometimes you have to deal with the element of surprise. In which case, let's say you're getting something out of your car or something and someone grabs you from behind.
Okay.
One of the many ways to deal with this is to drop your body and raise your arms in that manner and strike with your elbow to the midsection or to the groin. Yes, exactly.
Now in that moment when you're being attacked, you know, from behind, you're getting in your car something, how do you deal with the element of surprise? What can you do?
Well, again, that underscores the importance of training. Again, it's easy to watch this, but when it happens, it has to be instinctive. It has to be reflexive, and you have to have that control over your own fear, which comes out of training.
Okay. Now, very importantly, what if someone has a weapon? What do you do there?
Yes, today's current climate somehow lends itself to having weapons in the home. Let's say in a situation where someone actually moves towards you or threatens you with a knife. Again, trying to, in a moment of anger, trying to strike at you. If it's over the head, with advanced training, you learn to anticipate, to twist your way out of the motion, out of the way of the blade, and actually deal with that situation. Let's say they come at you at the midsection. Again, avoid the situation, unbalance that person, disabilitate that person, and get out of the situation.
Okay, now what if they have a gun?
Yes, the presence of guns in homes is also a cause of concern. Sometimes not meaning to actually use it, but it can be used as a threat, and that has to be taken as a real thing. With advanced training, it's actually something you can deal with, especially at close quarters. If I threaten someone with a gun, reflexes can take over and in fact move faster than the person has time to pull a trigger and disabilitate that person.
Now how can people get in touch with FEMA if they'd like to take your classes?
They can contact us at 680-3254 about classes or free demonstrations or seminars.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Dedi Mansour and Asad Hassan. We're glad you could be with us. I'm Margarita Grillo.